Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome back in my channel. In this video, I'm going to share something I recently using it for my hair care routine, and I think it might help you too, especially if you are dealing with hair losing. So this is the product. It's a small bottle. It came as spray bottle. It's only 120 milli and the company name is called Tosowoong's. Let me share it with you. It's called Tosowoong's. It's a Korean brand. I really love it and I'm going to test it with you also. As you see, I spray is kind of water you don't feel is oily and is not thickness. It dries so fast when you put it in your hair. Actually, you have to put it in our roots. And so let me smell it. The smell also is too light. I like it is not something like whether us or too strong, and I think the smell close to be minty smell. If you love mint, I think that you may interested. I love it. So I have curly hair, but I think as I read it work for all kind of hair, curly, straight. You can use it for any kind of hair, and I'm going to show you how to use. First of all, we have to shake it very good, and then we spray on the roots and we do massage by fingers. As you see, I am trying to have very healthy hair. I have very thick hair. Actually, a few months ago, I start losing a lot of hair. I wish I record video before to show you before and after, but again, it really helped me. I have been using this product for about 4 months. It's I saw really good result and I hope you will see the same result. Depends, of course, one to one is different, but it's good for me, especially like when before used to like brush my hair. I see a lot of hair. I'm losing a lot of hair, but not anymore. See, nothing. So the question is, do I recommend this product? Do I love it? Yes, I really love it. But I want to tell you something. Put in your mind is not magic. Is not something like, oh, you do it like this, or you'll have strong hair, you will have thick hair, your hair will grow up again. It takes some times, and that's what I think some people they will not like it because it may take some time. They are not patient. You have to be very patient with, and it helped me a lot. Most I hope it will help you too. And thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please put like, subscribe. And if you try different company, different brand, different product, please share it with me. Tell me your experience and tell me if you tried this product, how was your experience? Do you like it? Do you still using it? Please share this with me in the comment. Thank you so much. Please see me in the next video. Thank you.